Hey guys, in this video, I am just going to get into how secondhand e-cigarette vapor can be harmful for kids, just so that if you know somebody who's vaping around kids and the kids might be getting that vapor, that you can make adjustments if you need to. And there's just really three main ways. Now, my name is Rita Black. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, a smoking cessation specialist, a vaping cessation specialist, and I am the creator of Smoke Free 123. But I'm also a former super heavy smoker. I smoked for years, and I have been a non-smoker now for 25 years. So a lot of smoking, pack and a half a day. So here's the thing that I have noticed in the last few years in my practice and working with clients is that a lot of people have swapped from smoking to vaping because it's healthier. Now, here's the challenge is that seems like a really good idea, especially if you have children or grandchildren. If you are a smoker, to swap over to vaping, and because it makes sense, right? They don't smell. Even the vapor can smell nice. It doesn't seem as harmful because you aren't feeling it or feeling the effects, or that person isn't. A lot of people make that switch over, basically. Now, here is where it gets a little tricky. Because when somebody is smoking, oftentimes they will have to go outside of their home or their office to smoke. And with vaping, what has happened is a lot of people will feel like it's okay to vape indoors because it's not smelly, and there is not a lot of information out there saying, the vapor is harmful. We all know secondhand smoke is harmful, but there's not a lot of information out there or really being pushed towards people saying, hey, the vapor is harmful. A lot of people will vape with their children in the car, or they'll vape, in the next room, or they may even vape in the same room with the kids, like when everybody's watching TV. So I hear these things all the time, and then I have, become aware of the fact that there are certain ways that the vapor from e-cigarettes can be harmful for developing brains and lungs, and can be harmful for kids. So this is just sort of like just take whatever information you need, and if you need to make adjustments, please do. So first of all, the particles that are expelled in vapor, that when you use a vape and you're exhaling the vapor, there are particles in the vapor, especially in the flavored vapor. So what can happen is that the particles can enter into the lungs and impact the cilia. The cilia are, if you don't know what cilia is, you may know, but the cilia is like little eyelash hairs that line your lungs. And with smokers, definitely the cilia smoking cigarettes causes cilia impairment. The cilia have to lay flat from the tar, but the particles, especially the flavored particles, or the particles from flavored e-cigs, can also cause a ciliary dysfunction, which can trigger asthma, either in the user, but also in the people who are inhaling the secondhand vapor, and also can trigger COPD. This would probably be in older people that may be around you as well, like parents or older people. So definitely this is something that you should be aware of and think about. So the other thing is that there is formaldehyde in the vapor. And what happens with the formaldehyde is a lot of it stays in the lungs, and formaldehyde is known to cause cancer. So again, it's not just getting into the lungs of the person who is vaping, but it is also getting into the air and getting in, and it's spread into the lungs of, if there are kids or other people around. So just again, something to a word of caution. And the other thing is that there's also lead and metals in the vapor. And so that can also, or has also been linked to developing this dysfunction of developing brains and lungs. So it can really, really impact like little kids' brains. And what we know about lead and brain development, so it also can impact the lungs. So also, if you are pregnant or around somebody who is pregnant, vaping, secondhand vapor has also been linked to low birth weight, stillbirth, and the SIDS, the sudden infant death syndrome. So just again, I have had clients who have had doctors tell them to swap to vaping instead of smoking. And again, who are pregnant, and, that might be helpful. It might be better, but probably better yet just to leave it all behind just because of the risks. Okay. So here are some things that can be done. First of all, just vape outside. If you know somebody or love somebody who is vaping indoors, ask them to please go outside and keep the vapor outside, and don't vape in a car, especially around kids or other people. Maybe you can vape in the car by yourself, but other people. There is also such a thing as third-hand vapor. I won't even get into that, but the particles do settle on other surfaces. I don't know how dangerous this is, so I'm not going to get into it. But you can, if you're going to vape in the car, just obviously make sure that you're going to do it, not when anybody else is in the car. Skip the flavors. Maybe if you're a flavor person, maybe if you leave the flavors out, then again, especially the cilia function, and it seems like these flavored vapors are a little more potent and toxic than the ones that don't have the flavors. Swap to low or no nicotine, so at least the kiddies aren't inhaling nicotine into their lungs as well. And then also, the big ultimate choice is that you could just quit vaping. Now, I know that seems like a big, tall order. I know how addictive vaping can be for a lot of people. I know for some people, they swap from smoking to vaping and become even more addicted to vaping because now they're vaping more often because they can vape indoors and they have it by their bed and they wake up in the morning and they're vaping all day long versus maybe smoking 10, 15, 20 cigarettes a day. It's an all-day event all the time. And that's another thing with kids is that vaping is very distracting. I have many parents and grandparents too who, they're with the kid, but at the same time, because the dopamine center in the brain wants that vape so strongly, that they can't even really be with the kids because they're thinking about like leaving the room and going and sneaking a vape. And that really makes them feel bad because they really want to be with their kids. But then they're torn because they're thinking about the vape all the time. So that's another like sort of side, down, bad reason or reason, to, take your power back from vaping altogether and be done and put it behind you. I do have a free webinar. It is called How to Stop Smoking or Vaping Without Withdrawal, Cravings, or Weight Gain. It's absolutely free. You can sign up below, check it out, see if there's something there for you that can inspire you to put it behind you. You absolutely can. It's not so much about the nicotine. I've helped a lot of people become free of vaping. Of course, nicotine plays a role, but most of why you vape is mental and not physical. So at least the big part of becoming free is mental, and you can do this. It's just you need to believe in yourself, and you really need to make that decision to be free. And once you can do this. So check out my my masterclass. It's free. You can just sign up below. But definitely, if you know somebody or love somebody who might be vaping around their kids, or if you are, you know, vaping around kids and are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this, you know, now you know, and you can take steps. It's absolutely, you know, your kids will recover, their lungs will recover, but take the steps now so that you can protect them and keep them safe. All right. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you have a fantastic day.